So I got a hamster. Everyone say hello to Potat, a Russian dwarf hamster so round her caretakers nicknamed her Pork. While this may seem spontaneous, I actually spent a couple of months researching proper care and vowing to do better than when I had hamsters as a child. See, what most people don't know is that hamsters actually need lots of space to explore and at least 8 inches of bedding for burrowing. They don't need those tiny wire cages you see sold at big box pet stores. Hamsters of all breeds need at least 900 square inches of floor space, and I mean that is the bare minimum. Since I'm not an expert in hamster care, I'll leave links to some helpful guides in case you want to learn more. And yeah, that's a nanny cam for my flippin' hamster. Don't judge me. She's nocturnal, and I have a mighty need. Anywho, I figured since I have the materials, the tools, and the untapped potential of a middle-aged woman with ADHD, why not make a Hobbit-themed hamster hide and vlog it for the attention I so dearly crave. First, the most important thing about DIY for hamsters is using non-toxic materials. The little turds will chew on literally anything, including your thumb. Not bitter, just disappointed. So you need to buy materials that are clearly labeled as non-toxic, like Mod Podge, most craft store acrylic paints, and Elmer's glue. Certain woods are dangerous to hamsters, so it's best to stick with birch. These dowels, for example, are solid birch wood, and the plywood I used for the panels is made with PureBond. That's a soy-based glue that is used in Columbia forest plywoods, which are carried by Home Depot. The design was really simple. I had a front panel with a 2-inch opening and a back panel. The 2-inch opening is big enough for a dwarf hamster. If I had a Syrian hamster, I probably would have made it closer to 3 inches. The dowels would serve as the roof, but double as a climbable surface should she want to be adventurous. There's no floor because I want it to sit on top of the bedding. Potat's really big on burrowing. I laid all of this out in Illustrator, then laser cut the whole thing on my Thunder Nova. Initially, I intended to use a hacksaw to cut the dowels, but I really didn't have a safe setup for that. Instead of possibly losing fingers, I lined them up on the laser bed and sliced them in bulk. Sometimes I feel like using a laser is just cheat mode. The lasered edges aren't really a problem, but I did sand them down just a little bit to get some of that char off. I wanted the natural wood grain to peek through, so I didn't bother priming it with white paint. I just dove right in. Now, I'm not the world's greatest artist, but I think that I did a fairly good job with the rocks. Usually the thing that keeps me from painting better is a lack of patience. I love the results, but hate waiting for paint to dry. I want instant gratification, which is why I typically stick with digital art. Also, Procreate has an undo button. The paint job is just for me anyway. Hamsters are practically blind. It isn't like Potat's gonna have an existential crisis if the rocks aren't detailed enough. The gluing is what really killed me. Now, Gorilla Wood glue is some of the best I've ever used, but it's toxic. I started out using Elmer's wood glue. Oh my god, this stuff is horrible. I don't know what I was expecting, but I never thought it would take over an hour before it would feel tacky to the touch. A friend recommended Titebond, and I was surprised to see it was non-toxic. While the working time was still long at 30 minutes, it felt tacky and would stay in place after a 30-second hold. That's something my ADHD brain can get behind. I think if I were to do something like this again, though, I'd laser engrave holes for the dowels instead of these dips. Delicately balancing them along the edges of each panel with non-toxic glues is a little too tedious. Painter's tape became my best friend. There were some very small gaps between the dowels, but not so large that Potat's feet would get caught. That's a big thing to consider. Like dogs, hamsters get the zoomies. Their tiny feet could get caught and lead to life-threatening injuries. I quite literally saw a Reddit post over the holidays from someone whose hamster broke a leg on a flimsy bridge. The paint helped close any of the gaps, which was just further reinforced by the Mod Podge. I didn't really have to coat it in Mod Podge, but I wanted to protect the paint and the wood edges from potential moisture. You know, because hamster pee, which is not nearly as bad as cat pee, in case you didn't know that. I set the Hobbit hole along the back wall, which is where she prefers to burrow. As you can see, she loves it. She has this intricate system of tunnels along that back wall that go from the interior of the Hobbit hole all the way over to her wheel. I try to place treats at the Hobbit hole entrance to reinforce it being the coolest place ever to have existed in hamster history. Sometimes it works, but she has a mind of her own, even if it's pea-sized. I hope this little project brought you some joy. If it did, feel free to hit that like button and subscribe for more compelling crafting content from your friendly ADHD content creator. I'm like Spider-Man, but without the weird web stuff shooting out of my wrist.